said, oh, it works now. She's like, oh, great, you fixed it. What did you do? Wow.
750 meters are all that we have left in this event now.
That's the extent of my
And
skills.
we've got heads on swivels. .500 meters now. And it's Zykovsky who's going to strike first. She's got a quick response from Schmitz and Porter. Lindsay Hamilton trying to put her wheels in the mix as well. She's going to go high. Zykovsky's still on the front by about 2 bike lengths. Schmitz charging hard to try and get into second position. Hamilton coming up high over the top. Hamilton with a huge burst of speed. She's got Anna Sviben now trying to come up alongside her, but it's still Hamilton on the front. She's starting to extend her lead. Now Sviben comes down into the sprinter's lane, into the draft of Hamilton. Hamilton still on the front. Rider number 39 from Sergi comes through. She's still in command of the race. Sviben trying to make a surge, but it's going to be Lindsay Hamilton taking the win. What a great final dash. Lindsay was a little boxed in there in 4th position in the string, but she wove her way through traffic and right to the front of the class. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Lindsay Hamilton. Our next group on the track is going to be our Category 4 women. They're going to be battling a 24-lap points race. We're going to award prizes, or points, well, those are kind of prizes, every 8 laps in this event. There will be 2 regular-sized sprints, 5, 3, 2, and 1, and 1 supersized sprint at the last lap of the race. It'll be worth 10, 6, 4, and 2. There's the gun, and our 24-lap points race for the Cat 4 women is underway. And 1 lap in, it's Laura Schaefer on the front, number 18 from the hub. Followed by Cadence Hampton, number 31.
Pineapple, cheese, yes. Oh God, you're offensive.
Still Schaefer in control with 500 meters into our race. 6 laps from now, we will award our first points. 4 laps from now. 6 laps. I can't do that. You'd think it was mine. Schaefer content to lead the field through on another lap. Now we've got some action brewing from midfield. That's a Coachella racer who has launched herself from 4th position. 20 to go. And that's Colette Meller. She's going to see if she can hold this off in a kilometer time trial. Cadence Hampton and Christy Kraus, along with Ashley Von Edge, trying to close the gap down to Meller, but the Coachella rider with a great burst of speed. 3 laps left for her. We'll see if she can hold off Hampton, Kraus, and Von Edge. They're looking for a little organization in their chase at the moment, trying to find ways to work together. Meanwhile, Meller's got just 2 laps to go. And now it's Kraus who picks up the tempo going high. That means Cadence Hampton's going to have to do some work as Kraus puts some pain into those pedals. Still Meller on the front, though, doing a fantastic job of holding this hard-charging chase group away. Kraus making her move. Still Meller rolling through turn 3 and into turn 4. The first strike of our points race is going to go to Colette Meller, rider number 58. Then it's going to be 38, then 31, then 63. And your race leader continues her solo effort off the front. That's Colette Meller, rider number 58 from Coachella. Christy Kraus trying to close that gap down, but Meller just doing a fantastic job of time trialing this race right now. To go. That's 5 before we sprint again. Hampton trying to bring her chase mate, Ashley Von Edge, into contact with Kraus. 4 laps left for Meller before the next sprint. Kraus still dancing on those pedals, trying to get in contact with Meller. But right now it's Meller obdurately holding off the rest of the field. Somebody asked me what obdurate means. Kraus trying to close the gap with 3 to go before our next sprint, but Meller still dispensing the pain. Ten to go, 2 laps left, and it's still Kraus trying to bridge that gap, but Meller unrelentless at the front. Unrelenting. She's relentless. 9 to go. She's going to hear a bell. So let's put some gas in the tank for Colette Meller and see if she can hold him off for 1 more lap. Christy Kraus trying to take those second place points. Now Cadence Hampton starts to wind things up, but she's going to come up alongside Kraus. Meller's still in control at the front, but she's got a big windup coming behind her. So Miller, 58 is going to take another 5. Then it's, a close battle. I'm not sure who took that second place there. We'll wait for the official tally.
63, 31, 38.
So a clean lead right now for Colette Miller with 10 points. She has taken both of those sprints, and a 3-way tie for second place right now. 3 riders have 4 points. Christy Kraus, Cadence Hampton, and Ashley Von Edge all have 4 points. Keep in mind that this last sprint in 6 laps is worth 10, 6, 4, and 2. So there's everything to ride for. Four points separate first and second in this sprint. 6 points separate first and third. So if any of these riders want to win the race, they're going to have to prevent Colette from getting first or second. If they can drop her into third place, they will win the bike race. Miller is not about to let that happen, though. She's working closely with her teammate on the Coachella squad right now. 4 laps to go. And Von Edge leading out her teammate at the moment. Hampton and Kraus have some work to do to catch on to that pair of Coachella riders. I do have an announcement from the Track Shack. Dan Schuler, you won a trucker hat last week and need to come to the Track Shack concession stand to collect your prize. Meanwhile, we've got 3 showing on the cards. It'll be 2 for our leaders. And another big move here on the front by Ashley Von Edge. Quickly marked by our race leader, Colette Miller. Now we've got Kraus and Hampton trying to wind things up. Kraus wants to get in contact with that lead pair. She's only got 2 laps to do it, just 500 meters. She's closing fast as Miller and Von Edge have been working really hard in this race. But Miller has launched herself out onto the front. Kraus charging hard into turn 1. She's got just 2 bike lengths now to close. Kraus working hard to try and get this final sprint. She's side by side with Miller. Miller trying to hold her off down low. Kraus going high. So it's Coachella versus Valkyrie as they come into the home straight. And it's going to be side by side we come, but Kraus is going to grab top points. Miller's going to grab the race win. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your race winner, Colette Miller. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Colette Miller.
Winning podium for the 40 plus.
Did you run down and take a picture quick? Yeah, this right fits here. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special presentation here.
It's locked.
We're going to welcome our podium from the Masters State Championship points race to the presentation area, please. And taking 3rd place, riding for PJW. Let's hear it for Charlie Anderson. Wearing the silver medal, riding for Synergy. Please congratulate Tim Mulrooney. And standing at the top step of the podium, riding for the St. Paul Bicycle Racing Club, wearing number 6 on his skin suit. Your state champion is Jason Goldberg. Hey, Emily, can you tell Mark that we're going to do a trucker hat cream at 20 to go?
Trucker hat cream at 20 to go?
Yep.
Words never before heard uttered in the same sentence.
All right, we got our Cat 4 field up on the rail. They're going to do a 40-lap stretch race. There will be a preem sprint at 20 to go. The prize will be an exclusive Nsc Velo trucker hat. That's the kind of prize that will create the potential for collusion.
It wasn't supposed to be that funny.
Well, Vinokurov can buy races. We can buy them here too.
You can buy races. You can buy races.
Just call what you see.
Is that if who can buy races?
What?
If who can buy races?
Vinokurov is won the Olympics.
Really? Wow. That's the real penalty. So there's the gun, and our Cat 4 field is underway, and it's Liam Stewart from Birchwood launching an attack to see who's going to join him. Liam obviously chasing down that trucker hat. We'll see if he can hold him off for 19 laps. David Von Edge, the other half of Team Von Edge, rolls up and makes contact with Stewart. So our two escapees working nicely together at the moment. Von Edge picking up the tempo just a little bit. Stewart dropping into the slipstream. No immediate movement from the field as Terzic leads him through. Nice rotations coming here as Stewart takes over. David Von Edge goes high on the track to drop into second position. Now we've got to move out of the field. That's Glenn Barr and Tom Puzak emerging from the main field. That's a good pairing as well as Matt Mossman now tries to bridge across. So far about 30 meters, 40 now I suppose, separating our two escapees. Barr continuing the pursuit, and that lead is down to about 15 meters. Stewart trying to keep things rolling. But when you've got 12 or 13 guys hunting you down and they're all working together, that's a tall order. Uzak still leading the charge on the front of the field. Bound and determined to bring things back together. And it looks like the catch is about to be made here with 2 bike lengths left. And Von Edge and Stewart will swing up and fold themselves back in. 32 to go in the race, 12 before our preem sprint. Matt Bossman swings up track to the disappointment of the rest of his competitors. Matt, the tallest one out there, pushes a lot of the wind out of the way. Yes, come on. O'Hara swings up track, and now it's Redinger. Schuler sits second in command at the moment, with Barr in third. Single file line, there's some gaps forming. It means it's hard to stay in the draft with the pace as high as Redinger is keeping it at the moment.
Well, we're down to 10 people in the stands. It was really bad. We only had, what, 71 tonight? But with the clouds, like, nobody wants to come and take the chance it's going to get rained out.
Traffic is so bad.
Oh. Got to agree with that.
Barr winds things up a little bit more. Hands it over to Nathan Lee.
Yeah, avoid going in and out of downtown on 35 Velo.
The lap guards say 28 at the moment. And it's Dieter's on the front. Do you have any idea what the word for lap is in Spanish?
No, unfortunately, I only know deportation Spanish and food Spanish. Neither of which help in this situation.
Food Spanish. That's what I got. I got a little food
I can
Spanish.
get you a bond, though.
I'd rather have a burrito.
Did you say a
Me
bomb?
too.
Winding things up at the front now, it's Tom Puzak. 25 to go, 5 laps before our sprint for the trucker hats. Available only here at the National Sports Center Velodrome.
It would be regasso, but I don't think that it would translate that way. They would call it like trip, so probably vieja, vieja or viaje.
Round is, Ronda is Dutch.
Redondo. But the redondo, like.
Lap in Spanish is el regazo.
Yeah, I'm already on this. I got
We
this.
were wondering if that meant the lap when you sit down.
Oh.
But I don't think they have a word for lap.
The verb is traslapar. That doesn't seem right.
23 laps to go, 3 before our sprint. And it's 64 Bar on the front, setting a very strong tempo right now. His teammate Redinger sitting second wheel. Third is David Schuler. Fourth, Tom Puzak.
Redondo.
22, 500 meters, and Redinger keeping that pace very high. Now Schuler is sprung free. That's a dangerous leader right now as we come into a sprint lap. Puzak sitting in second position, Barr in third.
Vuelta.
There's the bell, 1 lap to go. And it's Schuler, Puzak, Barr, and Lee in the front 4 positions. Still Schuler on the front, forcing everybody to work extra hard to come around. Nathan Lee now driving it from 4th position. He's alongside Puzak in second wheel. He's got a surge coming, and he's going to make it. So Nathan Lee is going to grab that prize. He's taking home an Nsc Velodrome trucker hat. And he's got 10 meters to the good. And he's going to roll back and find some comfort in the field. Barr swings up, and it's Bossman. with 18 to go, leading them through into the home straight. Stewart now on the front. $16 to go. 4 kilometers remain. Dieter's setting the tone now with 15 left. Now Schuler's turn in the wind. Stewart now back in control. Single file line. This pace has been pretty high this entire race. Lots of gaps forming throughout the field. And it's O'Hara taking over.
What are you doing sitting back here, David?
He's got plenty of time.
Oh, I know. Deportation Spanish and food Spanish.
She's actually an immigration lawyer.
And I was guessing that it had something to do with that, but I was like, very poignant, very apropos for current, yes, for current events.
11 laps for Glenn Barr, David Redinger, Nathan Lee, and the rest of the field.
We do a Christmas party for Sealy Mattress Company every year.
Yeah.
For like 5-6 years, whatever, but their workforce is highly Mexican oriented. So nobody dances at this thing, but I get all these deep cuts because it's like basically it's black guys, Laotians, and Mexicans. So they come up with all these weird requests, and it's great music. Nobody dances,
Right.
but everybody's really happy when they hear their request, and I get to just ingest all this just like music that dumb white boy like me would never.
8 to go. 8 laps left. And it's Bosman handing it over to Barr. Barr took home the sprint win last week. Schuler back to the front. Nathan Lee now takes over with O'Hara, Bossman, and Stewart right behind him. 6 to go. 1.5 kilometers is all that remains in this scratch race for our Cat 4 field. And with 5 to go, we're starting to jockey for position a little bit. Pace pretty high, but everybody spread wide across the track. Kuzak and Stewart now on the front, but Stewart's going to make a move. He's going to drop down and try to spread this thing out once more. Kuzak quickly drops into the slipstream. Dieter's right behind him. Just 1 kilometer is all we got left in this race. And it's Dieter's on the front. He's going to try and escape the wind. That's going to put Bossman on the front. He wants nothing to do with the lead, and it's Nathan Lee launching a monstrous move off the top of the track. He was deep in the field, and just like that, he's got 20 meters, and a quick move by Alex Terzic launches himself out of the front of the group. Lee's got 500 meters left to go. Terzic now quick to react is Redinger. Bossman, Barr, still Lee on the front. Terzic closing the gap, but those two riders still have about 15 meters over the field. Do they have what it takes to get all the way to the line together? Lee and Terzic together. Side by side we go into the south turn. Still Lee in control. Terzic was looking for the right time to make his move. Now he's going to come up high, but they've got 4 riders right behind him. Terzic moving just ahead of Lee. Terzic driving hard to the line. Into the home straight they come, and it's Alex Terzic on the front. Hard charge by Buzak is not going to be enough to take the prize away from Alex Terzic. So a well-crafted counterattack. Nathan Lee led the thing out. It looked like a great move from 500 meters, but a good counterattack puts the race win in the hands of Farmstead's Alex Terzic. We're going to welcome our Cat 3 racers back to the rail.
Oh, really? Right back up.
They're going to be battling a 50-lap points race. Sprints every 10 laps, 5, 3, 2, and 1. And our supersized sprints.
Oh, Dan's in
And the final lap is 10, 6, 4, and 2.
Just like I dare you to not like bop.
I know.
You know. Even for what was I guess they got no moves. I still just
Yeah, I get this.
yeah.
There's the gun, and we are underway in our 50-lap points for the Cat 3 field. 9 riders rolled off the rail. Doherty does the first lap at the front. Hands it over to his teammate Risa Husted, rider number 9. Husted gives way for Pat Whelan, number 22 from PJW, sponsor of the Minnesota Cycling Center Masher. Anna Sviven now with Lindsay Hamilton right behind her.
Tough.
A little bit of beat.
It's gotta be.
I get that. There's a lot of distance between each one.
It is only 85 BPM.
Hamilton picks up the tempo just a little bit, hands it over to Schuler.
It's a long race. I can't believe you're dissing the gorillas.
In the right context, this is just fine.
You know what I can do?
Oh, yes, you can. Now it's
That is
Hillary
better.
Wild, number 5.
That is better.
45 to go. 5 before we sprint for the first time.
No, it's at 97 BPM.
That's good.
10, yeah. 10 to 15 BPM makes a huge difference in sound.
Charlie Warner in control. Warner is the co-promoter of the Big Waters Classic. The Southside Sprint is the state championship criterion this year. Scheduled for July 22nd in South Minneapolis. And swinging up track is Doherty, handing it over to Husted. 42 laps left, 2 laps before our first sprint. And it's Whelan controlling the tempo at the moment. Now Slavin, Doherty, Hamilton, everybody looking to make a move. Still Slavin on the front. No major attacks yet, but now we've got some movement from the middle of the field. It's Hamilton, Doherty, Schuler, and Slavin on the front. Doherty drops in. He's got Schuler right behind him. Battling for third is Hamilton. Slavin trying to hold off the rest of the field for fourth position. We've got Doherty and Schuler charging hard into the home straight. Who's got the legs? It's going to be Schuler, Doherty, Hamilton, and Wild. Great surge by Dan Schuler. So it's Schuler with 5, Doherty with 3, Hamilton with 2, and Wild with 1. And a counter attack right off the sprint is Schuler with Doherty in tow. That's the kind of move that can be very dangerous at this stage in the race. Charlie Warner, recognizing the danger, tries to get onto the back of that thing. As Doherty and Schuler are two riders that can ride away pretty comfortably if they work well together.
So you want to stay? Yeah, otherwise. I'm going to go home and try to go to bed early. Okay.
So Schuler, Doherty, now Warner joining the trio.
At 5, so.
How's that work for you?
Oh, it's great. Not bad.
I like waking up at like 8:30
Yeah, I announced it.
today.
You
Oh,
did?
no, wait. No.
He's busy.
No, tomorrow I don't have work till 11.
All right. Well, maybe I'll go
Today I actually had to be
take it
back
down
at
to
9,
he'd
so
love
I was up about 8.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, who won the other? I don't know.
This
who
goes
People
to
hate me.
that goes to Lindsay.
Lindsay?
Yeah.
I give it to her mom.
Oh, she here? Who's Anna?
And then who won the other cat queen tonight?
Nobody. That was the only one.
That was last week?
Yeah. Oh wait. No.
Schuler
No.
won last week.
Nathan Lee. Nathan Lee.
So we're 35 laps in. We still have our trio away at the front. Mark Stewart trying to bring things back together. Slavin, Whelan, and Hamilton join the group. And so we've got all of our groups folded back together. And as they say in Italia, we are gruppo completo.
Mario, Luigi, no. No. Sweet Mario and Luigi.
I feel like you covered Spanish and Italian, so we need to work in some French. Maybe, do you know any Portuguese?
No.
Swedish, skull.
Me neither. To me, I'm just like, that's weird Spanish.
It is. It's just weird Spanish. My 2 favorite people of the year so far.
That's Nathan. So shuffling the deck one more time as we clear the decks for our next sprint in 2 laps. Mark Stewart winding things up with Doherty, who's released. He's got Risa Husted, his teammate, right behind him. So it's Doherty, Husted, Stewart, and Schuler in the front. There's the bell for Doherty. He's launched a very strong attack as he rolls through the home straight. Husted trying to get in the mix. Stewart sitting in third wheel right now. Schuler trying to close that gap. It's all Brian Doherty at the moment, though. And the Taco Cab Racer is going to come through clean for maximum points. Who's going to make the move for second place? It's going to be Stewart, 29, then Husted, then Schuler. After that last sprint, Brian Doherty has taken over sole possession of first place with 8 points. Second place belongs to Dan Schuler with 6. Third place right now belongs to rider number 29, Mark Stewart with 3. We have 2 riders tied for fourth with 2. Rider number 39, Lindsay Hamilton, and rider number 9, Risa Husted. And in 6th place right now, rider number 5, Hillary Wild with 1.
What's your medal flavor tonight?
You know, I think either a little Iron Baby or a little Twisted Sister. Maybe a little both. And go deep. Don't
Stop it now.
The
Stop
top
it now.
one.
Careful how you.
26 Runden remain.
What?
25 for Mark Stewart, number 29, and the rest of the field. They're going to see 4 to go for the next sprint. And Spiven is rolled to the head end of the field. She drops off the pace, and it's Charlie Warner, number 84 on the front. Three to go before our next points reward. Who's going to make the next move? We're starting to mass toward the front. Schuler, well known for his time trialing ability, has Pat Whelan right behind him. Now Husted goes from third wheel, and she's off the front. That's going to bring some moves from all across the field. She's got 5 meters with 2 laps to go. Husted, then Whelan off the front, leaving Schuler to try and close the gap, but Husted's still doing a great job of holding everybody off. 10 meters separate her from the field.
Yes, actually, Lula's got it.
Down there?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, who's Lou?
she's the woman in the track shack.
Husted's still on the front.
She's right by the.
She's by the
white shirt.
White shirt. Oh, she's got it?
Yeah.
Schuler and Doherty charging hard, but Husted's still in the front now. Doherty makes his move high above the red line, trying to battle his teammate for maximum points, and it's going to be Doherty. Ooh, very close. I'm going to wait for the final tally, but it's definitely 32. Doherty taking the first points. And Hillary Wild was in the mix. Dan Schuler was in the mix.
32-84, W5, 81.
All right, so Brian Doherty grabs 5 more. That puts him in the lead with 13. Rider number 84, Charlie Warner, picks up 3. Rider number 5, Hillary Wild, picks up 2. That gives her 3. And rider number 81 picks up 1. He's got 7 and continues to hold on to second place in the race. We have now 3 riders tied for third with 3 each. Hillary Wild, Mark Stewart, and Charlie Warner. 2 riders now are tied for 7th place, 6th place. Lindsay Hamilton and Risa Houston.
I think the trucker head isn't really trucker enough. It doesn't look very truckerish.
With the patch on the front and the mesh.
The patch doesn't look like a patch. It looks like it's just if the edges of the patch were like frayed a little bit, I'd be all on board.
Yeah.
And like the brim edge, maybe little fray marks.
Yeah, that's the, these newfangled ones, they all want to wear them like this instead of all curved up like they're supposed to be
Flat.
So it's like, you can't make them do that. Like, I've tried to shape this thing and it's indestructible.
Oh, it won't. It stays trucker
Yep.
instead of flat
Yeah.
or debagged.
15 to go, and we are in a single file line. Warner swings up. Wheeling out of the way for Hamilton. 14 to go. And it's Schuler leading the pack through the home straight with Stewart, then Husted right behind him. And now's the time when we'll start to see that group massing on the front one more time.
Saturday night.
2 to go, 500 meters. Doherty checking that rear view mirror. One eye on the road in front of him, one eye in the field behind him. He's going to pick up the tempo just a little bit. Maybe a fake attack. Now there's a move from deep in the field, and it's Risa Houston one more time. Coming out of the middle. 11 laps to go, 1 to go before the points are awarded. It's Doherty on the front one more time. Houston, Warner, Schuler in the mix. Those 4 riders battling for points. Still Doherty on the front. It's close quarters in there with Houston sitting in second wheel. Schuler trying to come up alongside Houston. Still Doherty in command. It's going to be, very close. 32, then I think 9 and 81. Getting a head shake, it's going to be 81, then 9. And then 84. So Doherty, then Schuler with that massive attack at the line, just coming ahead of Risa Houston. And then Charlie Warner picking up another point. Doherty has extended his lead. He's now got 18 for the race. Second place currently belongs to Dan Schuler with 10. Tie for third between Risa Houston and Charlie Warner. Each have 4 points. Fifth place tie between Mark Stewart and Hillary Wild. And Lindsay Hamilton has 7th place with 2 points.
Who's on the white bike right here with the blue and white?
That's Peter Bell.
Peter what?
Bell.
I thought I didn't recognize him, and now I know I don't recognize
6 to go, 1.5 kilometers remain in this 50 lap points race. Remember, our final sprinters were 10, 6, 4, and 2. It's supersized. Four to go, 1 kilometer left.
Who's gonna make this a heartbreaker?
Who's gonna make this a heartbreaker?
Yes. Ray, TJ Reyes.
Mark Stewart's gonna stake his claim. Charlie Warner's gonna pick up the gauntlet and launch an early attack with 3 to go, 750 meters, and it's Warner off the front. He's got 20 meters. No action from the field yet. So Warner continues to open up the throttle. 30 meters now. Pat Whelan trying to bridge across to Warner, but with 500 meters left, this looks like a very good move by Warner. 10, 6, 4, and 2 on offer here in this final sprint. And Warner has got his hands draped over those bars in a very classic aerodynamic tuck. 1 to go. Here's the bell for Charlie Warner and the rest of the field. So Warner on the hunt for the final sprint win. Huge move now by Doherty. He's going to try and come up alongside Pat Whelan. Whelan's going to do his best to hold him off. Doherty's going to go high above the track. Warner's still got a few more meters to close. Can he hold off the hard-charging Doherty? He's going to come into the home straight now. He's got to put everything he can into this. So it's going to be Warner, then Doherty, then Whelan, then Husted.
Spent his powder. Powder got wet.
So great, well-crafted race. And 1, 2, 3 sprint wins puts the race in the hands of Brian Doherty. All right, we've got our last race of the night on tap. It's a 80-lap scratch race for our Cat 1-2 field.
With a purple number rather than how can you not listen to them together? You have to do it. You have to. I don't know. You're obligated. Okay, well, just because the women are out there.
There's the gun, and we are underway in our 80-lap scratch for our Cat 1-2 field. Christian Sundquist is going to take matters into his own hands. And we'll drop into a nice orderly single file line for the first few laps.
What's that?
3 times with the Zeppelin.
No, just 2 Zeppelin songs. Just did Heartbreaker and Live and Lovin'.
Haggerty winds things up, and Missy Richter sits in the second wheel with 77 to go. Peter Bem now, riding for Fort Lewis College. Takes over the reins with Peter Moore, riding for Donkey Label, in command at the moment. One, two, three. Ugh. .74 to go. 1.5 kilometers done. And it's Goldberg with the pace setting. Missy Richter takes over at the front with 71 to go.
I don't mind them. Don't buy any of their albums, but they got some good like party tunes.
The Columbia.
Uh,
I got the cassette.
Sure. They got some. I mean, they got some good party rock anthems.
Sunfield gives way to Peter Moore. We've had a definite increase in the tempo. And Bem starts to wind things up. He's going to go for a mid-race flyer here early on, 69 to go. So Bem's going to see if he can tire out a few of the sprinters here. Peter's always good for one or two of these mid-race threats. Charlie Anderson able to bring this thing back under control as Ben swings up.
Come on, yeah.
66 on the cards, and it's Sundquist back on the front. Heller picks up the pace a little bit more and hands it over to his teammate Kyle Langling.
You want a piece of my heart? Better start from the start.
It's a very quick tempo. Everybody searching desperately to get back to the back end of the string as fast as possible. Get a little recovery away from the wind. Peter Moore driving the tempo. Obviously his altitude training over the last week or so has paid dividends. He's just sucking up every oxygen molecule he can get his hands on down here at lake level. Heller just tearing the legs off right now as he roars through into the home straight with 59 to go. He's putting the hurt on right now. Gets him up to speed, and it's Satchel Mishi Richter taking over.
So he just tears their legs off.
Langling gives way to Goldberg.
Never really had much use for me. Never really had much use for me.
I would take Night Ranger over Lovely Boy.
Really?
I got two riders away off the front. Satchel Mishi Richter, Peter Moore, Charlie Anderson trying to get across. He's stuck in no man's land at the moment. And this has decimated the field. This is a huge attack with 55 to go, and these are two danger men. Mishi Richter and Moore working really smoothly together. Peter Bam is trying to give it the old college try.
I'm here for you, brother. I'm here for you. You are working your butts off over there.
Huge effort being put in right now by Peter Moore and Satchel Mishi Richter. And it's paying dividends as there's no organization in the field at the moment. Them and Goldberg working together trying to bridge across. But that's a tall order with these two. Now there's starting to be some gaps as Moore has left behind his compatriot and he's off on another 10-meter sprint. So with 52 to go, it's Peter Moore on his way to a half-lap lead over the tail end of the field at the moment. Satchel Mishi Richter looking for some help getting it from Goldberg and Bam. Nobody wanting to commit though, and that's going to add to the advantage for Peter Moore as disorganization threatens to open the gap even further. .49 now for Peter. Now we've got some coordination back in our chase group as Goldberg drops in. But still half the track separating our lone contestant on the front from the chase group.
This is my favorite twisted scissors song.
Oh, well, I can do something right. That is a good shirt there. And then the shirt hat combo makes you look very cycly.
Peter Moore slicing and dicing this field right now with his relentless onslaught. 45 to go, and he's still got half the track between him and the chasers. And it's 43 now for Peter, and he's starting to close the gap down to the tail end of this group. He's got more than a half lap lead at the moment. This is an amazing effort. He's been out there by himself for at least 10 laps now. Soon he's going to reach that important psychological situation where he can see the back end of the field on the same straightaway. And there we have it. We're on the same side of the track now. And the field getting a little bit more incentive now to try and hold him off. Ben picks up the pace on the front. Hands it over to Charlie Anderson. .39 to go. Peter's been known to take laps in the past. He's got a second wind in him. We'll see if the field's going to do enough to hold him away. Nsc Richter's picked up the mantle in the field. .37 laps to go. And still more with 140 meter lead. Nsc Richter looking for some help, and there's some gaps forming in that field now. That means that pace is quickening. Peter's turning himself inside out for this thing.
I'm on a thing. You're gonna hear at least one Megadeth song every night this summer. Every night this summer. I'm hell bent after seeing that. I don't know. I think it was a VH1 Behind the Music. Yeah, you told me they were talking about just like, nah. I maybe a little extra newfound respect for him.
He needs to get over it, though. Honestly.
Oh wow. Any prima donna rock star.
33 to go. And Moore still with a half lap lead. Our 4 remaining chasers doing everything they can to close that gap down, but still more with a comfortable lead at the halfway points on the track, 32 to go. A little more than half of the race left. He's got half the track between them.
So you're next.
7.5 kilometers left.
30 laps. What are they doing? Maybe 3 laps a minute?
Maybe.
Standard.
Nsc Richter put some added urgency in that 4-man chase. $29 to go.
Is that first or last? First.
7 laps even, or 7 kilometers even, I should say. And now that psychological shoe is on the other foot as our chase group can see the soloist in the same part of the track.
20 seconds. That's usually, Cat 1's usually is about 3 a minute. Women, about 2 a minute.
26 to go for Peter and the rest of the chase group at the moment.
Yeah, at least
That's
down.
5 strong.
That was 22. Right.
24 to go, 6 kilometers left. And Moore still with about a 60-meter lead. Our chasers have been working very well together throughout this effort to bring Peter back into the fold. Now they're starting to see the fruits of their labors pay off as Nsc Richter picks up the tempo just a little bit.
Whatever, if I split this.
This is taking a toll on the chase group too. You can see the hurt starting to show on their faces. 21 laps. And Peter is going to swing up track and allow the rest of the group to come back in. A huge effort by Peter Moore to stay away for nearly half the race. And now we'll see if he's got enough gas left in the tank to take the final sprint. 19 laps to go now.
Nice job out there, man. That's a great points race. It looked brutal, but you did a nice job coming through for that final surge.
Yeah.
That was great.
Nice plan.
That was really good. You were in the mix in the catering too.
I was fourth. I started fourth. Ended up fifth. I started to just come around. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a big
No.
push. There was a big push at the end.
Yeah, I didn't really feel it. I was under
17
good.
left. And we're all together. It's Jason Goldberg on the front. Your Masters State Points Race champion.
How'd it feel?
Progressively better.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's been, I think that's maybe my fourth time on the bike
Wow.
outside
Wow.
in
Jeez.
a couple of years, or in a year, so I'll take it.
4 kilometers left. And our group of 6 remains together. 25 is down a lap, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's down one.
Static hoots. There's a hard.
Never a big fan of that at all.
I'm not either. There's a lot of them I don't, but I'm alright with static X.
Goldberg, Mishi Richter, Bem, Moore, Anderson, and Langling all make up our field at the moment with 14 to go.
Blood for Days is the name of the song. Blood for Days. It's got a real zombie feel to this song.
I saw that Ministry is coming in November.
Really?
Yeah, they're playing at the Skyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wonder what they're charging for tickets.
Oh.
As cool as I could ask Jeeves.
I saw them headlining
Even
Lala
Lala
Roses.
And Lala.
Yeah, and Alpine Valley. That was great.
And there's a move by Anderson out of the middle of the pack. Goldberg quick to respond. Moore sitting in 3rd position with 11 to go. Little shake up as Charlie Anderson starts to wind up the tempo.
It's great to see you out there.
Yeah, it was nice to be out. It was close. I almost didn't make it.
Oh, really?
There was lots of crying when I walked out the door. I was like, I'm just gonna go. And he's like, "Where are you going?" Come on. You came home early for a reason.
And now it's Peter Bem who's going to shake things up. 9 to go. And Bem starts to build a gap. He's got 2 bike links between him and Charlie Anderson, who gives way to Peter Moore. Bem's going to roll up track, and everybody's out of the pool. Time for the lifeguards to count heads here. 8 to go. And Peter Bem on the attack again. He's going to wind it up from high on the rail. Peter Moore not going to let that go unchallenged.
When did you say it was?
It's in November. I don't know. 20th or something?
Peter's definitely broken some cracks in this armada here as we've got Satchel Mishi Richter taking over at the front with 6 laps to go. Now's the time when we're all going to wait for the final attack. There might be a couple of test runs. And even as we speak, it's Peter Bem trying to test the waters. Quickly down into the sprinter's lane is the rest of the field with Mishi Richter sitting 2nd wheel, Moore 3rd, Goldberg, Anderson, and Langling. And another shuffle of the deck with 4 to go. Alex Anderson with one eye on the road, one eye in the rearview mirror. And there's the college boy again. Peter Bam on the attack with 10 meters just like that. So a well-timed maneuver. Caught people unaware. More Goldberg and Mishy Richter trying to bring him back in. Goldberg gets help from Mishy Richter, who gets help from Peter Moore, but still Peter Bam with 5 meters, now 3 bike lengths. And 500 meters are all that remain in this final race of the evening. 6 riders together. And the moves happen all over the place. Peter Moore on the hunt one more time. He wants to reclaim the glory that was his for the middle of the race. Moore's got Goldberg right behind him. Mishy Richter sits in third. Moore stomping on those pedals as hard as he can. He's got Goldberg trying to bridge the gap, but Moore is expanding his lead. Now a bike link fits between him and Goldberg. Rolling home, it's going to be Peter Moore. So he managed to make good on his long distance dedication. Great finish to the race by the young donkey label racer. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Thanks for racing. Thanks for officiating. Thanks for driving the motorcycle. We out here.
I would have played you into that.
You don't need to help me, man. I think I got this covered.
If you like the static and then the national anthem, and then just go to static, like
Totally.
when TV ended in like the 1980s.
You had to get the test pattern in there first, though.
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
the static came.
Yeah. We also have to have the montage of all American greatness
Yep.
at that point.
Totally.
Rockets launching, the
Yep.
moon landing,
Really loud.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Yep. Yep. The full montage.
It was
Yep.
things my kids will coordinate. I don't even know what coordinator was about that.
No.
Burn it down.
That was that was a monumental thing when I was
Yeah.
like got to stay up that late
Right.
or snuck up, like 'cause my bedroom was in the basement.
You're turning all the dials.
Totally.
TMI.
UHF,
Jason.
VHF.
Yep.
No, good times.
I'll burn it down. Burn it down.
Alright, then we can shut off Goldberg's live stream here. Maybe. Yeah.